All right, everybody, welcome to another episode of the Up and In Show. Today is Monday. I have no idea what day it is. It's Monday, May 19th. It'll be super quick. You see how I'm repping my Greenville drive hat because I just got back from Greenville, South Carolina. Awesome weekend. And shout out Eric Drinko and the Greenville Drive for showing a ton of love, and just really the hospitality was absolutely incredible. It was a great weekend. Yeah, I'm going to dive into it here, but I really just want to start very quickly with my quick positive message for the day, and we're just going to go with control the controllables, right? That's one of my themes that I always like to talk about. So much in life is going to be outside of our control, and yesterday I got that full-on experience. 7 a.m., wake up to a nice text message that my 12 o'clock flight is already delayed. Called them, do the whole nine. They guarantee me it's going to get off. Of course it doesn't. Do the whole thing. Stuck in Atlanta, had to do standby. Anyway, don't get home until, late last night, and anyway. But I had a choice how I wanted to look at it, right? And you really just want to control the controllables. And instead, I really focused on the gratitude from the weekend, and and really just whether it's life, collectibles, travel, chaos, you get to choose your response, and that's something I really want to just always focus on, right? So we just keep on going. That's really what it is. And with that said, it was a great weekend, like I said, full circle for me. Greenville, South Carolina. Last time I was there was May 2011, so 14 years. Got invited to throw out the first pitch, sign some autographs, be part of fan favorite celebration with another former teammate of mine, Pete Ruiz, one of my homies that I played with in Salem in 2011. Got to meet Pete's kids, which actually probably made the whole trip, honestly. Like, that was the coolest thing for me. It does. My last year of pro ball, his son was just born, so to meet Rocco, he was 9 years old, 10 years old, and then he has a daughter, Isla. Make sure you say it right. It's Isla, and Axel. So awesome kids. It was a great trip, so much fun. Just reminded me how powerful the baseball brotherhood was, because when Pete and I get together, it's just like we pick up right where we left off. It was awesome. Made it more meaningful walking through Greenville, seeing how much the city has grown too. Last time I was there, Main Street wasn't what it is now. You can feel the economic expansion. Coffee shops, boutique hotels, farmers market on the Saturday. That was super dope. Got to go through, and a bunch of local farmers came in. You got to buy things anywhere from, mushrooms and fresh vegetables and farm, like legit farm, to honey to soap, organic soap. And you can find anything you wanted there. There was wicker basket. Like, it was just awesome. It was a great vibe, everything that you could imagine right on Main Street. Very cool. And then we stayed at the AC Hotel downtown, and I looked it up. Greenville is one of the fastest growing cities in America, and I can see why, with all the proximity to all the major cities right there too. Interested to see how that develops over the next 10 years too, and see what it is 10 years from now too. So we'll see how it goes. And then one of my favorite things to do when I'm on the road, I kind of talked about it on Friday's video, is hopefully I can find a hobby shop and go find some Jackie Bradley Jr. cards or something, right? And add some local legends to my collection. Unfortunately, didn't find any Jackie Bradley cards, but did go into Brian's Sports Cards and More. Shout out to Jeremy for showing a bunch of love. The crowd in there was absolutely electric. They were awesome. It was a bunch of locals. It was a Saturday morning. It was a Saturday morning? Friday morning. But obviously, when they found out who I was and I was going to throw the pitch out for the Greenville Drive, it opened up a lot of doors and conversation. It was awesome. There's going to be some content that I'll make sure I link to this. And on my social too. That was really cool, but just real good energy. New York guy, so I love that, right? Like, so we had that instant Northeast connection, and he was in the South doing his thing there. Real family atmosphere. His daughter, who was graduating high school, was working the desk. I guess his other daughter worked there for years too. And his son, like, it just awesome stuff. Just really awesome. Got to talk about, obviously my experience with Derek Jeter and the Red Sox and the Yankees as a Jersey boy, and then the New York guy, right? And his dad was in there. Got to take a picture with them. It was fun. I signed a card, acknowledging I struck out Derek Jeter, and like make a little joke, obviously self-deprecating always. But yeah, it was awesome. And it reminded me really, right, like why I started Cards and Culture. And I even ripped a box of V-Friends Chrome. It's part of the vision I've been building, picked up some cards for Pete's kids, some baseball cards. But again, just reminded me what Cards and Culture was all about and why I started that when I did. And it really was a connection point, and using sports cards and collectibles as this like storytelling aspect to bring this happiness and joy and this connection, right? Like, oh, we both like the Yankees. We're both here. Well, I remember that, right? And the stories were awesome. We wound up spending like an hour and a half there. It was so much fun. Definitely ripped some stuff. Got a few good cards. I definitely got an ROI on my box, so that was really fun. And then to transition that into my collectibles experience, I guess like with the video, I'll share what I got here. And then if you guys want to make sure that you guys are following my website or my social media, I'm going to write an article a little bit more in depth about my plan with these cards. I'm going to show some of the visuals and the training or the tools that I'm implementing with AI to try to track my inventory, how much I've spent, the fair market value of the cards right now relative to, the cost of them and the expenses, that you'll face, like fees or shipping or anything along those lines, right? So I think that's going to be really important, and something that I'm taking from my last venture with Cards and Culture into this new one is just really attention to detail and organization, right? So I'm really excited to share that. ChatGPT is absolutely incredible. You can create anything, and then there's some other things that I've learned along the way too. But this one's really cool. And so I've simplified my VFriends strategy down to, I'm going to collect all the characters in gold, so out of 50, right? So that'll be numbered long-term value. It's going to take me a while for that one. That one's going to be a slow burn. And as, VFriends evolves, some are going to become more expensive and less than others. So I have a target acquisition that I would like to spend on all the 100 characters. So I know I have a cost average that I'm looking for, and I know that if certain characters fall within these windows, it'll be safe to go grab them, right? So I'm going to have that part. And then I think since I've already got a decent amount of refractors, I think I'm just going to create the whole base set in refractors and then just put that in top loaders and put them away for a long time and just put them in a safety deposit box and just kind of bet on Gary Vaynerchuk and just hope that VFriends, not hope, but just follow it along and know that I supported a good mission. And then, like I said, has some upside in the future if he does pull off what he wants to pull off. So just wanted to share a few of the cool cards. And, one of the things that I really want to support is, these are all characters that have an identity, right? So I want to support things that are meaningful to me or that align with me. And, if I'm going to invest in characters, I want to be able to tell their story a little bit. And I want to speculate a little bit of ones that I think that could have runway in the future, right? Whether that be a cartoon or its own IP. AI is going to be so interesting. Virtual reality, augmented reality. How do these things play in that? In marketing, Gary's a genius, right? So I'm trying to think of it from that lens and what companies could be clinging on to these characters to maybe be their mascot or be the face of their brand or whatever, right? So that's interesting to me. And so one of the cool cards that we got were these Game On inserts. It's actually my second one. I pulled one from a retail blaster of Focused Falcon, but now I'm going to add the Moral Monkey in there. And it's funny because that's one of my favorite characters, and he's just, this card is really cool because it's the Game Boy style one. It looks like a Game Boy. And I kind of showed you the one with the Focused Falcon. So I think Moral Monkey will be one of the ones that I add to Adaptable Alien to be what I personally collect. There's another couple that I'm thinking about adding in there. But then I'll probably do some sort of rainbow or parallel version of those, right, that we talk about, and try to find some of the nicer ones and make an investment into those characters. So those two characters out of 50 and then the refractors, and we're going to call it a day. And I'm going to stay super focused on those. So that way, if I get into breaks, I'm really just chasing those letters. I'm chasing those characters. And if it's not for me, I'm out. I'm not chasing whole boxes. I'm not ripping like that. That's not how I want to do things. And I'm just not there in a position to be able to take that risk right now, right? So I think that's the way I'm going to do that. And we got a good start with those. And then all the other cards that I get that are valuable, I'm just going to liquidate so I can have some more money to go invest, right? So that's the key, is I don't want it to build up. So I got to go list things on eBay and ComC. So things like the manga cards and the numbered cards and things like that all have some good value, especially because it's a newer product and people are doing the same thing as me, putting sets together, collecting characters, right? So that'll kind of be my strategy to pay for some of the cost of the things that I don't necessarily want or want to collect. So that's the way I'm attacking VFriends. And then I would like to share with you a little Bretton Doyle update. I talked about this card being delivered while I was gone, so just wanted to share this. We got his gold mini diamond right here, rookie. Fired up about that bad boy. This one's numbered 14 out of 50. A little fuzzy on the screen, but just wanted to share those with you guys. And so, obviously Brenton is more of a cost favorable PC right now for my PC. So obviously Ken Griffey Jr., Derek Jeter, Shohei, those are all people that I want to add to my collection as well. Some football players, some basketball players, but over time I'll do that when I'm in a little better position financially, because those will be a little bit more expensive, and I'll probably be chasing numbered inserts, which will command a little bit more on the market, right? So I just wanted to update you guys there on that stuff, share some of the stuff that I got in. talk about my portfolio tracking. I'm excited about the Brenton Doyle in real time. Some of the AI stuff that I said is really going to like contribute to that. And I think if I could prove it out, I think it could be a useful tool for the hobby or for some of my clients that I'm working with and things like that like to collect high-end stuff. So, I'm excited about that. And overall, just happy that you guys are here. This is a new phase for me in my life. I'm trying to kind of in that unknown of what's next and trying to figure out where I fit in and what I'm bringing to the world, or where I think my skill sets can fit with somebody or someone else's organization, or do I want to go do something myself? But I just figured, keep sharing this stuff, sharing my experiences, and thank you guys for being here. This is all rooted in gratitude and love. I hope you guys have a great day, and make sure you guys subscribe and share if you guys are enjoying this. Let anybody know, and then make sure you guys go check the articles out if you guys are interested in some of the tools that I'm utilizing for my portfolio as I rebuild this thing. All peace and love. Thank you guys. I will be back tomorrow.